feel like it would be a really good day to do a slick back, but I don't feel like putting that effort in right now. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, thanks so much for joining. And for those of you who have been around, long time no talk. I know it's been a minute since I've been on my socials, especially my YouTube. I have good reasoning, okay, but we're going to change that. I'm gonna make my breakfast right now, and then we're gonna sit down and have a little life update chit chat. If you're wondering why it looks like I'm in a completely different place. We're also gonna ignore my outfit because I like to be comfortable when I'm making my breakfast, and I like to have slow, comfortable mornings, so I will get dressed after this. But we are gonna have some egg and protein pancakes this morning for breakfast and some chia seeds for some fiber. I don't really like to add them to my pancakes just because I don't like the texture of it, so I'll make like a little chia seed pudding. For the pancakes, this is the brand that I'm using. This is the Simple Mills. This is the protein almond flour pancake mix, but they do have just regular almond flour pancake mix, or they have chocolate almond flour. But I love this because it's so simple and clean, like the ingredients, like quite literally, those are the ingredients. And then just for a little bit of extra protein, because a serving of this does have 11 grams of protein, this is the protein powder that I use. If you guys remember from my last video, I told you that the girl that I'm working with for my gut, she's a registered dietitian, she's a gut specialist. Her name is Lacey and she's amazing. Unfortunately, whey protein for some reason is just something that I've always kind of reacted to. She posted this on her story and said that this was a great alternative for those who had like intolerances to whey protein. And it's just grass-fed beef isolate protein powder, which sounds so disgusting. Honestly, the thought of like the fact that this is beef like is so weird to me. But the ingredients are literally grass-fed beef protein, cocoa powder, and stevia for the chocolate one. That's it, and honestly, it tastes so good. It is about 60 bucks for this bag, so I get it on Amazon. So do with that what you will, but I think it's worth it if you do have intolerances, because it's just such an easy way for me to get my protein. I'm gonna have 3 whole hard-boiled eggs. I'm an avid egg hater. Like, I do not like eggs, but for some reason I've been able to tolerate eating and actually enjoy eating hard-boiled eggs. I am back on the kill subs for right now, just for the time being, which I'll explain in a second, but that's why you're gonna see as many supplements as you do. I'll start with the kill subs that I take first. I'm not gonna go over every single one because 1, I don't really know why I take what I take. Like, I'm just told to take it, so I do. 2, I also don't know if anyone should be copying like the protocol, because what I'm taking might not work for you, probably won't work for you, because everybody is so individualized. I don't want people taking something that's gonna not help them or make them worse. Now we have all of our other baseline subs here. I did already do my morning drink. I did not film that. Taking some zinc carnosine. This is also for gut lining. Saccharomyces boulardii. Taking that with these kill supplements and probably for a little bit afterwards as well. Mitocore. This is my multivitamin. And then my liver support. And then for digestion, I'm taking a digestive enzyme and then some biotin HCl. This is the brand I use. It kind of got all torn up, but this is instant hydration. I have the orange ones, but I just tried the raspberry. So freaking good. Can be my little breakfast date. Where the heck do I begin? The last update I gave you guys about my gut was that I was entering the kill phase, I believe. I was feeling really confident at the end of that kill phase, so I did it for about 10 or 11 weeks. I retested with Lacey. One of the things we do when we retest is we make sure that we're off of all of kill subs for 7 days prior to retesting. And after the first couple days being off the supplements, I noticed the symptoms kind of start to come back. Those results came back showing that the H. pylori was still there. I still had some overgrowths, and while things were improving, they weren't gone yet. So we went into another harsher 6-week kill phase, which is where I dropped off the face of the earth and I basically stopped showing up on social media. I had to cut my training drastically. I was going to the gym like twice a week, barely getting pump workouts in. I felt like complete crap. Supplements that I was on were harsher, so the die-off symptoms were a little bit harder. Just did not feel good. I won't get into it. There were just a lot of like symptoms I was dealing with, and I had to just take a huge step back and show up for myself and prioritize my health and my recovery. And I couldn't show up in the way I wanted to on social media, let alone did I have the energy to. So I decided just to take a step back rather than like stressing about like, oh, what am I going to post today? What can I plan content wise, because like, you know, I'm not in the gym, but I'm not doing this, and like I have to take it easy, and I'm kind of just like resting, and I just didn't know kind of what direction, and it was more stressful for me to try to figure that out than it was for me just to be like, okay, I'm gonna take a step back and it's gonna be here when I get back. So 6 weeks of that goes by. I retest. Thank the Lord. The H. pylori was eradicated. I was super excited about that, but we did have a couple little things that we had to take care of before calling it the end of the kill. A lot of times, Lacey told me that your problems can get worse before they get better because being on a kill phase can expose problems that are hiding, especially like behind biofilms. So she was explaining that, a lot of people do even have like candida, but it's hidden so well behind biofilms that they can't really see it. And some of the inflammatory bacteria can also hide behind biofilms. So just as we go along in the kill process and as we're breaking down biofilms, things can become exposed. So the H. pylori was gone, but a tiny, tiny little bit of candida popped up, as well as some of the inflammatory bacteria. I'm not going to quote her because this was weeks ago and I can't remember exactly what was said, but I think that she was saying that maybe some of those that are now there in like higher numbers could have been there all along. And that could have been one of the driving factors in the symptoms that I was having. And now we're at a point where like we can kill them because they're exposed. We decided to enter into another 6 weeks. She said that I could increase my training a little bit, really wanted me to focus on diversity, which I'll tell you guys about in my diet. These last 6 weeks, I felt better. I've been feeling better in the gym. I haven't been training like to failure, but I've been trying to pick up the intensity a little bit. I'm still only training like 2 to 3 times a week because I'm not trying to push my body. I retested last Monday. It's currently Wednesday, the following week. So those results should be coming back next week, and I'm very optimistic about them. Even if they didn't come back exactly how we wanted them to, I know that we're close. I feel like I've been praying a lot about it, and I'm a little nervous, but I'm at peace about it. There's no point in stressing, we're doing everything that we can do. I don't want anyone to think that I'm just like only showing the highlights and like I'm not showing up on my bad days. It's just genuinely because I like to post my workouts. I like to post what I eat in a day. I like to post my daily routines. And just the last few weeks, months, I haven't really been able to show up the way that I want to, or a way that like just feels comfortable for me to be able to do, because it just wasn't what was enjoyable for me to post. It wasn't so much that I was like, I don't want to show anyone this, but I'm really excited to slowly start to come back and be able to talk about everything with you guys and bring you guys with me throughout the end of this journey, throughout the next part of this healing journey. But once those results come back, hopefully they're good, and hopefully we can start the rebuilding process, because once we kill off everything, we're not done. We've killed off some good bacteria along with the bad, so we have to repopulate. We have to focus on diversity in our diet. We have to focus on repairing our gut lining. So I'm doing some of that stuff right now, kind of alongside the kill, but it's going to be probably like, I think she said like 4-ish weeks to like do the rebuild. Some of the things that I've done to be able to help this process along and really prioritize my overall health, my gut health, support my system during this kill. You really want to make sure that you're in a parasympathetic state as often as you can be, because that is the rest and digest state. That is where we're going to digest our food. That is where our body is going to feel safe. That is where we're going to be able to heal. And if we're constantly stressed, and we're not recovering, we're not getting enough sleep, we're not getting enough water, we're not doing like the simple basic things that we need to do to recover, our body's just going to be stressed out and we're not going to be able to heal. First, I got an Oura ring. I wanted to be able to track my HRV, make sure that my body was entering into that parasympathetic state while I slept. Also wanted to track my sleep, making sure I'm getting good sleep, my heart rate's dropping, my body temp's good. I do love this. I feel like it's an investment. I just decided to try out the Oura because I had already tried the Superhuman, and I really just love health trackers in general. Now, I do try to take it with a grain of salt. Like if my readiness score isn't perfect, sometimes I found myself being like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't train today, or maybe I shouldn't do this today, which during a kill phase, yes. But during like normal, I feel like you have to give and take. Prioritizing my sleep, like I said, movement. I try to do like 10-minute digestion walks after each meal, just getting my steps each day, drinking my water, electrolytes. I do 2 of those packets a day. Breath work is huge. I do that in the morning. I've been doing Bible study every night, which helps me like wind down. I got a skincare routine, which is 1, help my skin, but 2, help me kind of get into that routine. I do dry brushing in the morning before I shower. There's just so many like little things that I've been incorporating that I feel like have been such a huge help. One of the things that I have been working on throughout the end of this kill and going into the rebuild is diversity. Making sure that I am incorporating different fruits, vegetables, and not just sticking to like the same foods every single day, which is so hard because I'm a bodybuilder. I love being a bodybuilder for the routine. I love the simplicity in it. And I hyperfixate on my meals, on my food. And I've always said, like, I love chicken and rice because you can make it so different just by adding different condiments. But in the off season, one of the things that I need to do better at for prioritizing my overall health, my gut health, is making sure that I'm focusing on my diversity. Another thing that I have been doing is something called a veggie mash, which I'm actually going to take you guys to Whole Foods with me and get the ingredients for it. There's like a whole article on it. You can literally look up like veggie mash for gut health. I won't get into it. There's a certain amount of different like fruits and vegetables that we're supposed to get in our weekly diet, and a lot of us fall very short. It's not the most tasty thing in the world, and it's not the prettiest. But basically you take 15 to 20 different vegetables and you throw them in a blender or like a food processor, and you mash it up, and then you put it into an ice cube tray. You freeze the cubes, and then you have one each day. Put into some like bone broth or maybe a smoothie. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this is the last of it and that I have developed the habits necessary to make sure that I'm optimizing my gut health and like I'm as healthy as I can possibly be going into this prep. And honestly, like, it sucks that I had to go through this, but I just keep telling myself like how much progress I'm going to be able to make and how well my next growth phase and how well my next prep is going to go. So I just keep telling myself that this is just a, unfortunately, longer version of the setup that I need to be successful. And I'm grateful for it, although it has been quite a journey. Anyway, that's my life update there. I will definitely be sure to give you guys that update when it comes. I'm just really excited to be able to show up again on social media and like be present with you guys, take you with me on this journey. Like, I'm so excited. I have so many ideas. I feel like my creativity is just flowing. That said, the other life update I have, you guys have obviously seen that I'm not quite in the place that I used to be. It's a little sunnier. I talked about this on my TikTok, but I don't think I ever brought it to YouTube. Our lease was up in our apartment on December 12th. We had been talking for a little over 2 years about the possibility of moving, like relocating. And it was just one of those things where it's like, we just need to make sure it's going to be the best move for us. We want to make sure that we're in the prime environment for growth. We just had to make sure like the timing aligned and everything. And I swear it all happened so fast. I wanted to take you guys with me as, you know, we went along this process, but it was just like, quite honestly, a whirlwind. We finalized everything like mid-December, pretty much right before our lease was up and we were moving out. So our lease was up on the 12th. We wanted to make sure we were around family for the holidays. So we stayed and we got a hotel for like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And then 2 days after Christmas, we shipped our cars. We packed up a rental car. We brought the cats, and now we are Tampa residents. So we're going to have an Airbnb for the month while we look for an apartment. So we're just trying to decide on like the location, what we want, and we wanted to be able to explore all of the options before locking into something. We're supposed to meet up with a friend tonight to go to his gym. I'm not really sure what that's gonna look like. I feel like this first week is really just me trying to get settled in and get into a routine. But yeah, those are my life updates. I'm gonna get ready and I'm going to head out. I will see you guys probably when I'm at Whole Foods. I just got done returning the rental car. It took me like 30 minutes to get an Uber back to the Airbnb, but we got back. I cooked up a meal and I have it with me. So I just got to the Sprouts parking lot. I know I said I was going to Whole Foods, but Whole Foods was a little bit further of a drive for me, and I didn't feel like going to the Midtown one because it's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday. So I was like, probably shouldn't be doing that. A bit of a ridiculous trip for me, so I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. I made this veggie mash yesterday, okay? I went to the Whole Foods in Midtown, picked up all the veggies I needed, and I was trying to blend them together, and I was using this like wooden spoon to like push it down. And I remember thinking to myself like, okay, just be really careful, and as long as you're careful and you don't like push it all the way down, you'll be fine. It was like pushing the veggies down and it slipped, and I cut off like a big chunk of the wooden spoon into the veggie mash. I looked for it, I couldn't find it anywhere. So I was like, okay, like it's just like a little bit of spoon. And then I thought about it and I'm like, I probably shouldn't be eating this, considering that like I'm dealing with a sensitive gut and there's like probably a chunk of wooden spoon somewhere in here, or if not a chunk, there's like fibers of wooden spoon in here. So I should probably remake this. The good news is that I have a lot of the vegetables still at home. Like I didn't throw away a good chunk of them. There's just a couple that I like used up. So I'm going to go in and get more of that. And then I also just need like rice almond milk, things like that. I'm telling you guys, every time I come in here for my veggie mash, I like black out because there's just so many options, and then I'm like, what should I get? So we got all the veggies. I ended up getting more than I thought, but they didn't have some of the things available, which is fine because that means I can just use it next time. We got all of our veggies here that we're gonna go with. I actually found shallots here, which is good because I couldn't find those at Whole Foods. I'll show you guys everything when we get home. I'm just gonna pick up a couple more things. I did also pick up some bone broth because I go through this so fast. This is the brand I use, and I go for the unsalted chicken. Okay, wait, this is the first time I'm seeing this, the spicy mango. I love this brand, but these look so good. My mouth is watering. I'm not gonna get them right now while I just like finish off this protocol, but I will be trying those.
Lookup item. Payment type.
Okay, we're home. I can show you guys what I got in a little bit more detail. We got yellow squash. Got this bag of like colorful carrots. So there's purple, orange, and yellow in here because color and diversity. I got some mint. I got these City Roots Organic Farm Rainbow Mixed Microgreens. It says may contain organic mustard, arugula, radish, broccoli, kale, cabbage, snow pea, and sunflower microgreens. So I felt like this was a really good addition just because it was so many different little things. We got some asparagus. And then in here I have chard leaf, I have turnip greens, and I have mustard greens. Got this singular heirloom tomato because I don't ever have yellow tomatoes. Here I have eggplant, and I think these were orange radishes. Wait, is it turnips or radishes? I don't know, I get them confused. I got some cauliflower, and then finally some shredded red cabbage. I would love to make this right now just to get it out of the way because it is kind of a pain in the ass to make, but I'm gonna end up doing it later, and it's fine because we're gonna try to see what's going on for the gym and probably get ready for that. I actually just woke up from a little bit of a nap. We did not end up training today. We ended up resting because all of the gyms were closed for New Year's Eve, which I kind of expected. And then the one gym that we were gonna go to, we were just like, you know what, we're just gonna go on a different night. So now I'm adjusting my training. I'm gonna be training tomorrow and either Friday or Saturday, or Friday and Saturday. I have one upper and one lower body to hit, so those are like my mandatory lifts, and then if I feel like getting in a fourth one, if I'm feeling pretty good this week. But that being said, we did find something to do for New Year's, so we're gonna head over to the pier in St. Pete and go watch the fireworks and go to the food vendors and everything. I'm just eating a little meal. This is something super quick and easy I threw together. I was really craving more breakfast. At Sprouts, I saw a chicken and sage sausage, so I just decided to make 3 of those, and then I added some potatoes and one more egg. Then I have 100 grams of blueberries and some mush overnight oats. And then my last meal is just gonna be chicken and sweet potato with some veggies. I'm not really sure what yet. And then I'm gonna have a Go Macro bar as well. One of these. I don't have to take any kill subs with this meal, but I will for my last. So I just have my digestive enzymes and my betaine HCl for this. And I have the sweet potato cooking right now. I'm gonna prep that meal and try to prep all of my like supplements and everything, because since we're gonna be out past midnight, I would like to eat before coming home, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna wear because it's actually kind of cold in Florida, which I know everyone's like, shut up, it's Florida, it's not that bad. But it is 46 degrees in Tampa right now, which is a little bit colder than it normally is. There's food trucks and live music and a bunch of restaurants open, so we're gonna go explore that, but we're making our way over to the pier. Everyone looks so nice and so dressed up. It's the one thing I didn't pack for the month of us being here were any like nice fancy clothes. Like I brought stuff to go to dinner, but nothing to like wear on New Year's Eve because it slipped my mind. say good morning, but it's 5:30 in the evening. We spent the day today touring some apartments. Granted, it's New Year's Day, so all of the complexes are closed, but there were a couple that still had the self-guided tour option. So we perused around. So we're trying to go like area by area. So we looked in this one area today. We did 2 tours. We have 2 more scheduled in that area for Saturday. So we were able to like drive around, see what's around, look at the different apartment options, kind of just like check out the area. You know what I mean? We're definitely going to the gym today. It's been 2 days I haven't been in the gym. But while he's gone, I am remaking this veggie mash because I did not get the chance to do it yesterday. I'm a little bit overstimulated right now just because of everything going on with this countertop right now. I'll show you guys. I'm almost done making the veggie mash, but this is what we have put in so far. This is what still needs to go in. I already did the asparagus. So we just need our leafy greens put in. And we are pretty much full. So I'm gonna transfer this over to this blender. And then I'm gonna blend in my leafy greens. It does not look very pretty. So now I have my ice cube tray and we're just gonna transfer over here. So I do tend to overfill these just a tad, but they come out fine. So, and I'd rather do it like this than pour it because we all know how that's gonna end up. These do not look appetizing in the slightest, and they honestly don't really taste that great, but we're doing it for our gut health and not for taste. And when you mix them with the bone broth, you can't really even tell because it's just such a small amount. Kind of just tastes like I'm having like a chicken soup with some extra veggies in it. Beautiful. She's going into the freezer. And then should be ready by tonight for me to have one. Change of scenery, right? I know I didn't bring you guys along a lot yesterday, like throughout the day, but we did end up going to Champs Elysium, which was so exciting. One of the gyms I was like most looking forward to checking out. Vibes, equipment, everything just immaculate. We met so many nice people. We're supposed to go check out another gym tonight. I decided to go get some steps in. There's like a trail park thing right near our Airbnb, and look at the sunset. It's so beautiful. I'm sitting on this like dock right now. Yesterday was supposed to be a lower body workout, but I have another gym that I usually go to while I'm here that I am definitely getting a membership at, that I usually like to do my glute workouts, and I did have glutes, so I wanted to save that, so I'm going to do that on Saturday. As you guys know, my training has decreased a little bit, but I've been feeling a little bit better, so I want to start to slowly get back into 3 leg days a week. So I decided to do a little shoulder and glute workout instead of just like a upper body day workout that I do, and then tonight was going to be like my upper body workout. I just did like 3 glute movements and 3 shoulder movements and called it a day, and it was a really good workout. I am a little bit like frustrated with like some workouts, especially being back on the kill supplements, just kind of aggravate my gut a little bit. Like it's just like the bracing and like the intensity of workouts, even if I'm not pushing to true failure, I feel like I just get like a little bit more easily irritated. And that's just like being on herbals for so long and like being in this kill phase and having a more sensitive gut. But it was still a really good workout, and it's still way better progress than it was like weeks ago, because girl, weeks ago, I don't even want to talk about it. But I wanted to come on here because I can't even, I'm smiling so hard about this. I wasn't planning on getting my GI map results until next week. I think I told you guys, like I was assuming I would get it probably like midweek next week. And I was sitting on the couch after breakfast, just kind of like rest and digesting, you know, like just trying to like, you know, do some breath work, relax. and I got an email that my GI map results came in, and I was like, oh my gosh. And obviously I was super nervous. I prayed. My heart rate, it was so high, it was going so fast. I had that like nervous feeling in my stomach. I was like, oh my gosh, it has been like literally so long of this process, and I was like, I am just praying that it's done. And guys, we're ready to freaking go. I am so excited. So we got my GI map results. No H. pylori, no candida, and the overgrowths are gone. And oh my gosh, I am so excited. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a rebuild period here. Like I'm a little bit inflamed. There's something called secretory IgA that shows up on a GI map, and it basically shows like your immune system in your gut, and mine is like really low, and that's why I'm having a little bit more of a reactive gut. It's not like as low as it was. It's been improving actually since the last GI map I did, but it's still really low. So it explains why I still feel slightly the way I do. Also, I'm still on the herbals right now, which isn't like helping in that sense. I immediately got the results in. I cried. I like was so happy. I booked a call with Lacey immediately. I emailed her. We're taking down the kill stops until I meet with her. I'm talking with her on Tuesday of next week. It's currently Friday, and we're just gonna go over next steps. Now, I've been in this phase for a hot minute, so I know that I'm not just gonna like get better immediately. My good bacteria is also pretty low. We've depleted some of it throughout this process, which like was bound to happen. So we have to work on rebuilding my gut. We have to work on rebuilding the gut lining. We have to focus on getting those good beneficial bacteria back up to good levels. I don't know what I'm going to be taking, if it's like any probiotics or whatnot, but I will be definitely having to focus on diversity now more than ever. I'm so excited that I get to bring you guys back on this journey. We are going to be in a little bit longer of like a tiny bit longer of a healing journey, but we're gonna get back to our regularly scheduled programming very soon, and I'm so excited. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy the sunset a little bit, and I am going to walk on back to the Airbnb, eat something else, and then get ready for the gym. That is all for this video. I am so glad to be back. I am so excited to take you guys with me. So excited to be feeling better, so grateful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you haven't already. I will put the handles right here. And thanks for joining. I will see you guys next time. Bye.